Start 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Because somebody has gone to get a clock. We'll wait for her. Yeah. As soon as she brings the clock, I'll start. Thank you. I never know when to start, when to stop. And I put off my phone, you see, so I can't look there. Shall we? I'm ready. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Right? Okay. Now close your eyes. Sitting quietly. Putting your whole faith in Jagadamba. We'll chant Om 3 times with the exhale breath. Breathing in. Om. 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Keep your eyes closed while I the Guru Mantra. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Open your eyes. All of you have come. You can come forwards if you want. Can you? If you can hear, if you don't hear me properly, because there's space. Nothing reserved for anybody. Whoever comes first sits where they want to. And if you feel comfortable sitting on a chair, you can do that. You're okay. Whatever. Comfortable. This is not an asana class, so it doesn't matter. Just relax. Okay, I presume that many of you have followed the first and second portions of the Devi Mahatmiyam. No, you haven't. It might be a bit tough because it's a continuous thing. So if you don't know, I cannot repeat the whole thing. But anyway, whatever you get is what you're meant to get. So the first charita was Mahakali, which I'll give a brief introduction here. The second one is Mahalakshmi, and the third one Mahasaraswati, which will actually start beginning from tomorrow. But this is a preparation for that. So now yesterday and today are Ramanavamis, the day that Sri Rama was born. I'm sure everybody knows of Sri Rama, Rama and Sita. Now the Tithi comes yesterday and today. But usually Rama is worshipped in the afternoon because he is born in the afternoon. So people are very particular, would have worshipped him yesterday, worshipped him because the Tithi comes there. By now, the Navami is over. And in the morning itself, at around 11ish, the Dashami has started. So it doesn't matter when Rama was born in that sense. I'm only telling you this for knowing some information. Rama is born whenever you think about him. He is born in your heart. And what Rama means, I will tell you as we go on, because today, Ramanavami, I start with a little story about Sri Rama himself. If some of you who were here on the first Devi Mahatmiyam day remember, I started with a story of Sri Rama to start with. And I myself thought to myself, why am I starting about Sri Rama when I'm going to talk about Durga? But now I understand why it happened. So let me tell you a little story. When Rama's wife, Sita, Rama and Sita were the first. Rama's wife was abducted by Ravana, Rakshasa, who was enamored by her, so attached to her that he kept her in Lanka, which is now presently Sri Lanka or Ceylon. And Sri Rama went to bring her back, for which he had to do battle with Ravana the demon. Now remember, all these things are happening within us. It's not somebody out there. Rama is within us, Sita is within us, Ravana is within us, everything. That is what the Devi Mahatmiyam is about. You know, all our negative impulses are asuras, rakshasas. And the king of the negative impulses is Ravana in this context. And in the context of Sri Rama, the positive aspects of Rama are Rama. And the positive aspects we'll go to in a little while. So here you have the story. And in the story, there's a great battle. Rama is accompanied by the monkeys and few men. That is like Lakshmana was a man. Monkeys and bears, animals. Now you'll wonder, such a major battle had to have animals like that, just monkeys. And when he who had been a king could have asked his brother, who was reigning at that time, to send the army. Why did he ask the soldiers to be monkeys? And although they offered to help. Now this is a tattva, something you have to understand very deeply, because the divine energy has certain rules. When you dislike something very much, the divine comes to you in that form, what you dislike, and kills your ego with that form. So when Ravana said that, I will not be killed, he had done a lot of tapasya, said, no gods should kill me, no saints, people like that could kill. Only the great, mighty ones can kill me. But I don't care about men and animals. They don't mean anything. He looks down on them as something lower, and we all have that habit. Sometimes you look at something and say, that's nothing. You look down on it. And you'll find in the Puranas, the stories, that every time you look down on something, the divine will come in that form to defeat you. So that is why they say in the Gita, hatred binds, love liberates. When you hate something, you'll be stuck to it. But for example, you don't like a particular dish, a particular vegetable. Say you don't like ginger. Everybody else is okay with it. You'll find that if you go to a feast where they would put just a little bit of ginger in the whole dish of sambar, for example, the person who hates it will get it in his plate. It's not like God, somebody up there is saying. It's an alignment of vibrations. What you don't like becomes a strong vibration, and that vibration moves towards you. So today you see so many wars going on, no? And sometimes we look at the news and we try to say, who's at fault? Is it Trump who's at fault? Is it the Israeli at fault? Or is it Iran at fault? Who is at fault here? And we have certain reasons for which we dislike certain aspects of certain people because it fits our narratives, mind narrative. I may say I don't like Trump because he acts unpredictable. Somebody may say I don't like Netanyahu because he's Jewish. Somebody may say I don't like Iran because they are Muslim. No, this is not a fact. It is somebody's narrative. And according to what your narrative is on the inside, you will see that person as if he is the villain. But actually, who's responsible for this? Any guess? Us? You're right. It's our mind. We are responsible for this war. Because suppose you're at home and you get angry with somebody, you don't like your maid. I don't like this woman. I wish she doesn't come here. You have put negative vibration already. And where does it go? It doesn't twirl only inside us. It goes into the cosmos. So you have put out one negative something, vibration. Somebody else adds another vibration of some sort or the other about somebody else. Another person adds, many negative vibrations come together. It becomes anger and hatred. Fear, anger, hatred. Now, if somebody else who is top, say a power somewhere, that person will be inundated with these negative vibrations. Because his narrative tells him this person should be attacked for this reason. So, to be, we'll wait for you. Back now? You're coming back. She's going out. Okay. So, you'll see that any negativity you put into the atmosphere is responsible for a collective negativity. Why? Because later on I'll tell you how the supreme consciousness is one. It is in every atom, subatomic particle. You, me, this table, this thing, the people there sitting, this thing, Mike, outside, everywhere is the same supreme consciousness. We call it God, somebody calls it Allah, somebody calls it Yahweh, somebody calls it Father. But it's only different names. But there is only one consciousness. So when this consciousness is everywhere and you say something negative, it moves out into wherever it is. That consciousness is everywhere. So your negativity spreads everywhere else. That is why they always say, speak the truth, be careful what you are speaking, behave with the truth. Later on, you'll see how that will affect the Devi Mahatmiyam. So now you have the story of Sri Rama. He is in a war fighting with Ravana. And in one particular context, Ravana's son, who is very powerful, will attack Lakshmana, who is Ravana's son, brother, Shakti missile. It's a very powerful missile. And that powerful missile will make Lakshmana unconscious, very close to death. A very, very powerful missile. Now what happens? Everybody is upset, worried, what to do. So then at that time, Sushena, who is the chief physician in that group, a Vanara, a monkey, he comes and says there is only one way to save his life. There is a herb called the Sanjeevani herb, and it is found in a hill called Dronagiri hill in the Himalaya region. Somebody has to go there, bring that herb, and that has to be administered to this body. That is Lakshmana, which is nearing death. Like what you see in the ICU, they put the ventilator, no? Like that. So they say, go and get something like that, but it has to come before sunrise tomorrow. Now it's already afternoon. The war is in Sri Lanka, which is south of India. Dronagiri is in the northernmost tip of India. So who will be able to go so fast and come back? The only one person that they could think of was Anjaneya, Hanuman. Because Anjaneya is Vayu Putra, son of Vayu. Vayu is the wind. The wind is your breath also. So he can go as fast as the wind, and he has shown his prowess before. So they asked him, do you think you can go get it and come by morning? He said, I can, but I don't know what this herb looks like. So the physician says, look, that one will be glowing, unlike other herbs. In the night it will glow. So that way you can find out. So Hanuman goes off straight. It's evening, it's night, just beginning of the night. He looks around. He sees some herbs glowing and some are not glowing. Now he gets confused and he thinks to himself, now what if I take the wrong thing? The whole mission is done. So Hanuman has 8 siddhis, 8 powers he has because of his great devotion and his sadhana. What is a siddhi? Siddhi, you have a quality, the perfection of that quality is called a siddhi. So he has the siddhi to make himself large, expand himself. So Mahima is called. So he expanded himself and he moved the mountain, and then he picked up the mountain, the whole mountain, and he flew to Sri Lanka. As he said, if I can't distinguish the herbs, somebody there will be able to. Most sensible thing, he thought. As he was flying from Himalayas to the Sri Lanka, he passed Ayodhya. Ayodhya was a place where Sri Rama was crowned the crown prince before he left for the forest. When he passed Sri Lanka, Ayodhya, it was night and you didn't have electric lamps and LEDs and things those days. So his shadow, like a huge shadow with a mountain, fell on the umbrella that was kept, the royal umbrella over Sri Rama's paduka, the footwear, which Bharata, his brother, had brought back. And he said, your footwear will rule the kingdom, I'll be just managing. So Bharata, his brother, was sitting and he saw this mountainous thing coming and he got afraid. He said, must be this is a demon or something, because we had demons and all those days also. So what he did is he took an arrow, bow and an arrow, and with that arrow was named Rama. And he shot that arrow. It was not an arrow that kills. It was something that brings the target down. So he shoots it and it hits Anjaneya on the heel, and Anjaneya falls down murmuring Rama, Rama, because that was his Ishta Devata. So when he murmured, Bharata thought to himself, who's this? Have I heard somebody by mistake? He's saying Rama, Rama, and Rama is my Ishta Devata also. So then he asked him what happened. And then Hanuman explains to him the whole story. What happened in Lanka and how they went to fight. You finish whatever you want to say, then we can continue. Okay. So, Hanuman explains to Bharata all the happenings that happened, and Bharata understands. He said, oh my God, is that what happened to Rama and Lakshmana? They're his brothers. He said, shall I take an army and go? He said, don't do that. Rama didn't ask for an army. Besides, you have to reach by morning, before sunrise. So I have to go now. How will I go? I have fallen. And how will I carry this mountain? Then from the Himalayas, he carried it and he flew. But now he has to lift it against gravity and fly. So what Bharata does is, he said, I will give you the momentum to fly that way. And Bharata kept an arrow beneath Anjaneya's feet when he was holding the mountain. And he sent him up with the arrow. And then Anjaneya went there, and then the herbs were used and Lakshmana came to life. There are other stories besides that. We won't go into that now. Now the point is, when this Anjaneya was flying back to Sri Lanka, he was amazed. He said, this man, Bharata, must be as great as Rama himself because he was able to lift me and the mountain together. What prowess he must have had. He was amazed. Then he realized that when he fell down, the mountain didn't fall. He was holding it in his hand. The mountain didn't fall. Mountain was there. He fell, hand was there. So then he realized, he said, he became very humble. He said, when I was proud, I thought I was holding the mountain and coming. But now I realize that it is you who have held the mountain. When you hold it, can anything fall? He says. Now we are coming to the name Rama. He says, Rama, you have held it. And we would wonder, what Rama is he? If the Rama was that powerful, why would he send Hanuman to go and get the herbs in the first place? He could have just waved a wand and got Lakshmana getting up, no? So he says, the thing comes to, we have to understand, who is this Rama? We are talking of Ramanavami. We are saying, many people say, Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram, they write it and all that. But who is this Rama? Anybody wants to give an idea? Who could this Rama be? Sri Ram, Jai Ram, no? Who are you calling? It's okay if you say the wrong thing also. Narayan, you're right. When you call Rama, you're not calling Rama the son of Dasharatha in that situation. You're calling the highest quality of consciousness, the supreme consciousness, that is called Rama. And you will find it also in many great Shastras, like the Ramatapaniya Upanishad, Kali Santarana Upanishad, and many other Upanishads and Vedas will tell you that Rama is the name of the supreme consciousness. When Vashishta came and picked up the child to name him, because he is a Kula Guru, he looked at the child and he gave him the name of the divine on whom he has been meditating for years. The same name he gives him. Incidentally, Rama is an avatara of that supreme consciousness. But who they are calling and who you call when you say Rama, Jai Shri Ram, you're not talking of this Rama, you're talking of the supreme consciousness. It's like saying Hallelujah, you know, like that. Then the other thing is, there are two words here. In Sanskrit, you have a portion, a whole book on, in fact, written in which a single syllable can mean a word. And that word can give a meaning also. And this was explained to Vasishta by Agni Bhagavan, the fire. And what did he say? He said, you can use one word, which is just a syllable, and it can mean something. So Sanskrit now is not a subject that you can learn as a language or online. You can learn it language just to read. But if you want to really go into Sanskrit, then you should go to a person, A, who is a great scholar, and B, who has done sadhana. You can be an academic of great value, but you have to have done personal sadhana. Then that person will tell you, look, this is what it means. You should do it. You know, like telling what is Rama. So now what is Ra? The syllable Ra means fire. That's why in the Manipur chakra you have Ram as the Manipur chakra. If you have done the chakras in the ashram or anywhere. The mantra, the shabda, that is the Mula mantra of fire is Ra. And what does fire portray? Fire dissolves everything. No? Whatever you keep in fire, it will finish it off. It can make it into ash, leaving only the essence behind. So this is equated, fire is equated with death. That is why the bodies are cremated, because the body goes, ash goes. Consciousness never leaves. Consciousness is there always. From the time you have been created, many lifetimes earlier, maybe as a vegetable, as an animal, as an insect, as a bird, as a human being, as a good human being, bad human being, according to social norm, you're carrying the same individual consciousness with you. This is what is Atma. And that is why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, only the body dies, the form dies. But the Atma, the individual consciousness, never dies. It comes in the beginning of creation and it dissolves back into pralaya when such an end comes, when all your karmas are over and you have finished your journey. Okay. So this is what fire is associated with. Ra. Ra is with death, meaning a completion. Ma is associated with the journey. First children, no? It also means a birth. So when you are saying, and talking about, talking of, we go back, we go, we come back, we come back, same Atma, but different. So we go, come back, we go, come back. But how to move beyond this going and coming back? You want to get liberated from this, no? Free of it. The Nama that is given is called Rama. So Rama is called the Taraka Nama. Taraka means that which helps you cross from the material world where you're tied up, suffering constantly. And we can suffer in many ways. We can suffer when somebody shouts at us, your identity is triggered. Or if you lose somebody in your life. Or, can you hear properly? Can hear. Not so clear. This lady says it's not so clear. You can hear clearly. Okay, if you can hear in the distance. You can, or she can come closer. You come closer, because he says he can hear closer and he is at the end of the room. Is that better? Because, the reason I'm concerned is because you can ask questions, but there are a number of students all over the world, US and UK and things like that. And when we are saying we are giving a class online, we have a responsibility to see that they can hear it. So, Rama is called the Taraka Mantra. Why Taraka Mantra? Taraka, Tara means to cross. Netra, you say I, no? Tara, star. With all that, you are able to see and cross. So in the same way, Rama is a Taraka Mantra that is used for crossing over the ocean of samsara, which is a continuous play of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. To break free of that, Rama is the Taraka Mantra. In fact, if you go to North India, Munger, for example, or any place in the north, when somebody passes away and they're carrying the body to the cremation place, the people who are walking on the side will say, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai. That is, the name Rama is the only truth. Satya is truth. What are they doing? They are not saying it for each one. They are saying it to the soul that has left the body and needs guidance to go to the next. So they're telling the soul, keep this memory, Rama, 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 in thinking of the supreme consciousness. And that is the only truth, because the supreme consciousness is the only truth. And this is true in every religion. If we go to Christianity, they will say, what is God? What is truth? That which was, which is, and which will always be. It doesn't disappear. That's permanent. Therefore, it's the truth. If you say, I'm speaking the truth, you're not actually speaking the truth. We are speaking a fact. No? But if I'm saying something's a fact, then somebody may ask me, where did you see it? Oh, I saw it in the newspaper. I heard it on TV. How do you know that is right? Then I have to prove it is right. But when you say something about the supreme consciousness, that is the truth. Can I help you? No, I feel sorry for her because she's going in and out, in and out. She's leaving, is it? No, she's leaving now. That's okay. Because I don't want her to go out, come back, go out, come back. But this is such a deep science, you know. I think this must be the second time I'm doing it and Devi Mahatmiyam, and I will not do it anymore. And it's only for people who have come and who are really genuinely interested, sadhana wise. So, this Rama mantra is the Taraka mantra. That's why they say Ram Nam Satya hai. It's a guide to the Atma that has left and has not yet been reborn elsewhere. Then you have the, there are three mantras, Taraka, Tarika and Anuttarika. Taraka is Rama mantra. Tarika is the cream mantra, because Tarika means the first manifestation of the Supreme Consciousness, because it has no form, no? Supreme Consciousness has no form. It is without anything, nirguna, no gunas, no forms. But it decides to become many forms. So through the process of Maya, the Supreme Consciousness becomes many forms in the universe. The whole starts with space, because only in space you can have something happening. No, you need space. Inside you is also space. So the first manifestation of Paramatma, that is the Supreme Consciousness, is Tarika. Tarika means the first manifestation of the Supreme Consciousness, which is formless. That is Hreem. Hreem is the Bija mantra of Bhuvaneshwari, who is in charge of space. She is space. And that is why, and she is also Mahamaya. Because face, if you have a form, a place, it makes you feel that you are different, you know. I'm different, you're different. Imagine if you're going to the ocean and if you bring 5 different cups, different shapes and sizes, and you dip it, you get water, right? In each glass, it will be different vessels, it will look different, you know. But it's the same ocean which is in all the vessels. So in the same way, Supreme Consciousness is in everything and everybody. Wherever there is creation, consciousness is there. The Parabrahma we call it, or the Paramatma we call it. Atma is the individual consciousness, which is a portion of that Supreme Consciousness. All Atmas joined together is Parama Atma, Supreme Atma, the Supreme Consciousness. Okay. So, Taraka, Tarika, and Anuttarika. So you know Tarika now. It is the first manifestation of consciousness, space. And what is space called? Space is called Jyotsna, one with light. Because the divine is light, it's illumination, self Swayam Prakash. Nobody lights him. That we call him and her for our own convenience, but actually it has no gender. It's just consciousness. So wherever you see anything in space, you only know it is there because there is light on it. No, if this place is dark, you won't see anything. So everything in the world is reflecting the light of the Supreme Consciousness. So you call Akashyate iti Akasha. That which shines that way, naturally, is called Akasha or space. That's why it's called Akasha. Okay. Now, in Tantra, you have it's called Tantra, comes from the word Tanoti and Trayati. Tanoti means expansion, Trayati means liberation. So expansion of what? Liberation of what? So we have a mind, right? Our mind is narrow, finite. I only see whatever I am used to. I don't know what is, if I don't go to USA, I don't know what USA is like. It'll only be my imagination because I've not seen it. This is my mind is narrow. That is needs to be expanded. So to expand it, I have to go to those places and see what it is. Okay, you've gone through every country. If you've gone through every country, you move with the people. You see the food habits. You see the clothes that they are wearing, why they are wearing it. Some people know, some people don't know why they are wearing what they're wearing. Why do you put a bottu on your head in India? You must know the reason. No, everybody gets up and puts a bottu or not. Why? Do you know? Yeah. Yeah. Why do you put it there? It'll what it'll activate what? Agnya chakra. It'll activate. But much more than that, yellow is the color of light, right? The complete illumination, Swayam Prakasha. So the divine is called light. Now, supposing you come to my house and I say, God be with you, if I want to say, in the old days, what they would do is they'll want to give that light to somebody. How can you give light to somebody? You can't make it, you can't catch it. So they would say, let us give something which is very close to light. Then they would give gold. Because those days India was a very rich country. And we didn't think of it as rich. It was there. And it's very close to looking like light. Gold was given. Then as times grew, the country was not rich enough to give gold to everybody who steps into your house. So what do we do next? What is looks very much like gold, yellow color, turmeric, haldi. Okay. So when anybody comes to your house, you give them turmeric and kumkum, haldi kumkum, arshna kumkuma, they call it here, manjal kumkumam in Tamil. That is the reason this is given. When you give somebody turmeric and red, the kumkum, the turmeric supreme consciousness, and the red represents Devi, the Shakti, its power. Why? Because red is the color of blood, red is the color of the soil. So wherever something moves, there is redness there. So with that, they called it Shakti. So when you're calling somebody and giving Arshana Kunkma, it was more frequent in the old days. Now people, sometimes they give it, sometimes on a festival, sometimes they'll say, hey, bring the Arshana Kunkma. That's not it. In your wholeheartedly, you want to welcome them and you want to tell them, take God and His Shakti consciousness and its Shakti, then you put that kumkum, and kumkum is kept here. Why here? Because the Agnya chakra is at that point behind. So by putting that Shakti, that energy there, you're triggering the Agnya chakra to act. Now you'll find that in the north, in the south it used to be, but now in the north mostly, if you go to Bihar and all, people will put the kumkum right from the beginning of your parting, middle parting, and goes all the way up. Have you seen that? Sindoor, they say it. Why do they do that? Because in the quality of the chakras through which you have to travel to reach the as a sadhana, you go through Swadhisthana, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anahat, Vishuddhi, Agnya. From Agnya, you have to go along the road to Sahasrara, which is here. The Supreme Consciousness is here, and you go to this point. So what do you say? Mahalakshmi is walking. Mahalakshmi is yourself. Your Atma is Mahalakshmi. When you have opened yourself and expanded your awareness everywhere, then that Mahalakshmi walks on this path. It's called Simanta Rekha. Rekha means line. Simanta means the Sima. Sima means the border. Anta means the end of the border. Simaka Anta is the Supreme Consciousness, the Devi. She's waiting there for you, the Kundalini Shakti. Right? So that is why you keep it. This you must teach your children, your grandchildren. Otherwise, what is the point? No? So many girls these days will not wear bottu. They say, it doesn't match my dress. You've seen it, no? You're not doing it. It's not an um, ornamental thing. It is for a very specific purpose. That is why you will see many people, especially I've noticed in Tamil Nadu, many people, even if they are bureaucrats, IAS officers and all that, they will put the kunkuma and the vibhuti. If you see the RSS people, they'll put the kumkum. Why? Because it is ingrained into them that this is why you are doing it. Not because if she's wearing, I too will put bottu. Not for that. So the country, every culture, not just India, every culture has certain old patterns of behavior and happenings which give you an idea about that culture. And now most people are so caught up with superficial things, I don't know. They might say, my grandmother used to say that, my grandfather used to, because they knew. If you remember it, well and good. If you don't remember it, you lost out on something very rich. And if you don't tell your children and they don't tell their children, and not just your children, anybody you know, now why am I telling you? It means I am creating a misdemeanor by knowing something and not sharing that information with you. Because Swamiji, my guru, always used to say, when you have knowledge which I have given you, share it. Don't be a miser with knowledge. Don't be a miser with anything. Now give of yourself. How do you get less? Your Atma becomes more expanded. Body might become problem. Atma becomes expanded. Then when it gets expanded, what happens? At one point, it breaks free and it's liberated. That is the whole meaning of Tantra or Tanoti, Trayati and Tanoti as Tantra. And much of the Devi worship is given in meticulous ways in Tantra. There's a lot of people who are willing to find the Devi within themselves, did a lot of tapasya, and they went by the rituals because every ritual had a meaning and a purpose. Okay. So, Taraka Nama Rama. Tarika is Queen, Mahamaya. That is Bhuvaneshwari. Why is she Mahamaya? Because she gives you a feeling that people are separate. Time is made separate. Time is a continuing spectrum. We make it into divisions by saying, yesterday I saw you, today I didn't see you. Yesterday the time was moving same way. But we, for our convenience, have made it yesterday, today. Or you might tell somebody, and you'll see in a video soon, I'll be showing you, that I saw you as a child, you were so different. Now you've grown up and you become so different. You don't realize that actually minute by minute, every day, we are changing 333 billion cells in our body without our knowing. It's happening by itself. And where does that memory of it come from? It comes from vasanas in the supreme consciousness. Whatever chitta it's called, whatever the memories are there, it gets into chitta and it stays. That is why if you read something, you learn something, suddenly it gives, I've heard that sometime before, you say, may not be in this lifetime, some other lifetime, but it triggers it for you. Because your consciousness holds these memories, and these memories are called vasanas. Okay. So then you have, I told you, Taraka, Tarika, I told you. Then there is another thing called Anuttarika. Anu means that which holds on and goes on with something without stopping in between. It goes on, follow all the time. And the Anuttarika mantra is Shreem. Why Shreem? Last class, that in the way Rig Veda, they have talked, which means Bija mantra and first time. And how do they say it? They do not ever say, oh, this is it, just like you get books these days. They hide it in statements. So if you're smart and if you have learned that way of looking for clues, that's why I said Sanskrit is a guru-guided language. Then you will see the clues there. For example, there is a chant in the Rig Veda, Ashwapurvam Ratamadhyam Hastinada Prabodhinim. It goes like that. Meaning is Ashwapurvam, she who is on the horse and on a chariot and in the rath and in the on the elephant. If you look up, you will see that written up here. Ashwapuram Rathamadhyam Hastinada Prabodhinim. You saw that? This Devi and this temple has been built more than 10 years ago. I don't know how many people would have noticed it and asked, what does it mean? Very few. Very rare. Because people are satisfied with superficiality. I put it there. I said, if there's somebody who's really genuinely interested, they will know. The Ashwa, Shwa, Sha, that is Sha. Purvam, Ratha, Ra, Sha, Ra. Hastinada Prabodhinim, Ha, Ra, Im. Sha, Ra, Im. Shreem. That is how the mantra of Mahalakshmi is hidden into that for the first time in the Vedas. Remember that always and go tell people who need to know. Okay, you keep it, then you will forget. You say, she said something I forgot. Cream, the same way, which I'll come to you at the end of the class, which will be on the 4th day, because cream was the first word that Markandeya said when we started the Devi Mahatmiyam. But how did he say cream? He didn't say cream. He said, Savarni Suryatanayo Yomani Katyata Ashtamaha. I'll tell you that again at the end because we won't detract from this. You have to get from that the mantra Hreem. Hreem is a Mahamaya and we are tied up with illusions in life. You have to go beyond our own illusion to see the larger part of life. Now, like I asked you, who created the war? All of us. Instead of saying, oh, Netanyahu did it, or Trump did it, or the Khamenei did it, no. The entire universe is called collective unconsciousness. Collective consciousness. That supreme consciousness is one. And all our thoughts, our words, our feelings, everything go into one pool and it is called collective consciousness. Because I have a particular narrative in my mind, I will pick this thing to go by. Somebody else will pick that thing. Somebody else will pick that thing. Now, if I am close to you, I will look at you and I'll say, okay, she may be sad because she has not got a job. Somebody else may be sad because they don't have food to eat. Somebody else is sad because they're abroad, they're not able to come here. But the sadness is same for everyone, no? There is no such thing as an American sadness and an Indian sadness, or a German anger and a Hindu anger, Muslim hatred, Hindu hatred. All hatred is the same. When you recognize that, then you'll say, hey, there's no difference between her and me. Only the forms are different. But the individual consciousness is the same in everything. You've expanded your mind. This is Kula Dharma. You've gone beyond your own personal Dharma, Kula Dharma, family. Then you know that family you have to, as a child, my mother and father are important because they are giving me the food. Maybe uncle and aunt, brother and sister. This is Kula Dharma. So how do I behave with them so I don't lose them? This is Kula Dharma. Now expand your mind a little bit more. You're going to college and you're going and making friends with different people. And those people have families. Now, when you move with them, you call them uncle, aunt. They're not really your uncle, aunt. You might say uncle, aunt. And their families become your families. Then you go to many places in your own country and you find that everybody is saying we are all close. This is called this. Kula Dharma is expanded to form Rashtra Dharma. How do you do it? To protect the Rashtra. Now you go a little further. After all, what are Rashtras? They are only lines drawn by conquerors at different times. Whether the line is there or not, people will move around this way and that way and be close to each other. So you move from Rashtra Dharma to Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means the ancient Dharma, which says all creation, not just humans, animals, birds, insects, plants, leaves, everything has the same consciousness. And if you are wise, most people specialize in different subjects. Sometimes now a lot of this is coming out in quantum physics, medical research, how a particular, we would say, if you have a particular illness, our grandfathers would say, eat this leaf. And we would eat also. He doesn't know anything. We've got tablets today. Okay. Now you go to the scientific research in that leaf. There's something in that leaf which can break down and give you antibiotic happenings. It can give you antioxidants, which will help you regenerate new things. You have to go deep into this to understand. It's a fascinating world. And many of this were known by our ancestors, but some of them, they didn't want to know more. They said, okay, I'll just eat that leaf. That's all. No, why to know more about it? So the learning went down. But again, it's being revived. So this is how it's always. A war will come and then an awakening in consciousness will happen. War is not always bad. Because when you see war, suddenly you see death everywhere. No, you can be scared. What if a bomb falls on my house? Right? We are afraid because the form will go. This body will go. We never remember, the consciousness will never die. So what happens when you get that fear brings hatred. Hatred brings violence. But that is why many people in power use violence to keep themselves safe. But a person who is wiser will use diplomacy, statesmanship. That's different from being a politician. Because he sees much more. So Sanatana Dharma is what tells you that, listen, everything is the same. You might have heard of people who say, I have a plant at home and I talk to it every day, it comes up properly. It's not a miracle. Neither is it a joke. Because your vibration, and not just saying, oh, come on, grow up. No. You feel with that plant, you say, I wish it had grown up. You needn't say anything. You go near it and you feel, I wish you could grow up. It has picked your vibration. It is aligned with you. And automatically it will grow the way you want it to grow. So this is much more is being done today in research, medical research, quantum physics, everything that points out to you that we are not one single individual. We are the same along with a whole lot of the entire creation. And depending upon the vibration we choose to release, you will be in alignment with somebody who hates, or a plant which you dislike, or an animal that you don't like. That animal will constantly come. Have you seen people afraid of dogs? They say, whichever house I go, the dog will come near me. I'm scared. So when hatred binds, love liberates. How will you love something when you come to know it? Without understanding, you don't know what that is. No, natural to be afraid. So you understand it by moving along with it. Then you expand your awareness. Sakshi Bhava. You expand, and then you are liberated from this. To understand now. Yeah. So you learned about Taraka mantra, Tarika mantra, and Anuttarika. What is Anuttarika? I just said it. Shreem. Shreem is Anuttarika. What is Tarika? Cream. The first manifestation of the Supreme Consciousness is Cream. That is the meaning of space, the mantra of space, the vibration of space. Everything has a vibration. The vibration has sound behind it. So, Cream, how does space happen? Because a Supreme Consciousness, which does not have any limitation, limits itself into different forms when it transforms into so many things. It doesn't create. We call it creation, but the divine does not create. Because if you create something, you have to take something and make, There is nothing except the divine. So he transforms himself into many different beings. That leaf is him, that plant is him, that animal is him, the person you don't like is him, the person you like is him, everything is him. I say him for understanding. But because we cannot give it a gender um, uh, uh, difference, we call it him and her. Because that's how a finite mind understands. In Sanskrit, in the spiritual language of Sanskrit, you call that as tat. Tat means that. You will see that it's there in every language. Jesus says, I am that I am. Because you can't say, I'm this, I'm that. You're everything, no? How do you confine yourself? I'm that I am. People don't understand sometimes. They think he's saying, I'm that I am. He's talking about Jesus Christ. That's not what Jesus is saying. He's saying, look, I am that consciousness which I have recognized. And you can do it also. Because why? The kingdom of heaven is within you. Where is the kingdom of heaven? Where God rests is the kingdom of heaven. No? So where is God? Within you. The tat means that. That's supreme. If you want to say it in a female manifestation, you want to talk about Devi, for example, you say tasyai. Tasyai. Tasyai is for a female gender, tat is for a male gender. Okay? So remember all this, because it doesn't matter if you don't remember now, there is no examination. If you grip it when I'm telling you, in some time, some lifetime, maybe in this lifetime itself, say, hey, that's what I heard, this and this links, like that. So that's the purpose of Devi Mahatmiyam. Now we'll come to the supreme consciousness. Can you put that thing on? Frog in the well. See, if you're managing this thing, no? If you're managing this, you must stay with me till the end. You can't go out anywhere. Because not for my sake, but for millions, hundreds of people who are watching from different places. Put the frog in the well. This way.
Once there was a big black frog.
See it? Close
Which
enough.
lived in a well. It stayed a little away from the sea.
Voice
It was
louder.
born there, and it had never ever moved out of the well. It knew nothing about the world and thought that it was the most intelligent frog on earth. It was fat, as it was the only frog in the well, eating all the worms and insects. It was leading a very happy life. One day, a frog from the sea lost its way and came near the well. Accidentally, it fell inside the well with a loud noise. The frog in the well that was sleeping was shocked at the noise. Oh God, who is the stranger? It looks like me, but he is not black like me. Yea, you stranger, what business you have here? Well, friend, I did not have any intentions of coming here. I am from the sea, and I have lost my way. I fell inside the well accidentally, but it is good that I have met you. The frog in the well was satisfied with the answer, but it wanted to know more about the new frog. You told me that you are from the sea, right? Yes. What is that? How big is it? Is it as big as my well? The well frog was very eager to know about the sea. My friend, how do you compare the sea with your little well? Is your sea bigger than this? What nonsense! How do you compare the sea with your well? It is many thousand times bigger than your well. The well frog could not tolerate the answer. It thought that his well was the biggest of all. It did not like the frog which came from the sea. Ha! You are a liar. You think too much of yourself. There can be nothing bigger than a well. I don't believe you. That's because you have not seen a sea before. Come with me. I will take you to the sea. Ha! I am not here to believe you. You want to push me into the sea and you want to become a king of this well. That's why you're calling me. I know all these tricks. Get away from here. The sea frog was shocked to hear the words of the well frog. He wanted to explain to the well frog, but it thought it was no use talking to a stupid person. It left the well happily without saying a word. Ha ha! He thought he can make a fool of me and send me to the sea. None can fool me. Nothing can be bigger than my well. Again, the big black frog sat on the well, eating happily all the insects of the well. Moral: none should develop attitude of the frog in the well towards others. Try to appreciate and understand the other person's point of view. This is a sign of culture.
We are handpicking
I wanted you to see that because so many customs that all of us follow everywhere in every country, we follow it because our parents have said it or our friends have said it. We don't try to go to the depth and try to find out why is this happening. And you know what happens when that is? You'll find later that science is bringing up so many insights. And one of the things is if you don't use certain cells, they will die. When they die, if it is too long a time, it cannot regenerate. But if you keep using it, it will regenerate. That's why when you see some people, they have a injury, say a foot injury or something, they have a surgery, they tell them to stay in bed for 10 days or so, then they say physiotherapy, keep it moving. Otherwise, those swells will get used to not moving and then it degenerates. Then when you want to get up, you're not able to get up and walk. Same thing with these cells of the brain. Today's education is not very smart because we are taught only rote memory and learning facts and then writing it when you go into any particular profession to use those facts. But we are not going, nobody teaches us to think for